So hi everyone, I'm going to make a reaction video or I'm going to explain the loading system here in Kanayama Yaki, Aomori, Japan. So currently, as you watch the video now, we are inside the kiln area of the company, or they call it the Kamaba. So Kamaba is just a direct translation for kiln studio. So on the lower part of the video, you see the picture of the 5-chamber kiln, or they call it the Noburigama. So Noburigama means angled kiln. So it's just a direct translation for angled kiln. I will explain more about the parts of the kiln on different series of video. But now, let's talk about the loading system here in Kanayama. So as I've said earlier, we are currently in Kamaba area of the company. And the staff are trying to bring out the works from different studios in Kanayama. So there is like 3 studios here in Kanayama: Daiichi, Daini, Daisan, direct translation, which is first studio, second studio, and third studio. So earlier I said about the 5-chamber climbing kiln. So the 5-chamber climbing kiln, the goal here is to load around 2,000 to 3,000 pieces of ceramics per chamber or per room of the kiln. So if we produce 2,000 pieces and we have to load around 5 chambers, so 2,000 times 5 is around 10,000 pieces of ceramics during loading. So here we are trying to load more than 10,000 pieces. The more ceramics we load, the better. So as you can see now, we're back. Go back to the video. On the lower right side of the video, you will see people sitting there trying to create like a painting. So what we do here, we will use a small amount of ceramic kiln wash and spread it around here. See? Because Kanayama is doing a very unique way. Actually, it's not unique in Japan, but it's unique for me. It's a very different way of loading the ceramics inside the kiln. Here in Kanayama, instead of just placing the work on the shelf, here they stack the work on top of each other, as you can see on the lower part of the video. And other than putting the kiln wash in this area, Kanayama also use rice straw. And you see the circle like biscuits, they call it sembe. So sembe here is just a clay version of kiln wash, flattened and shaped into a circle. So later part of the video, you will see the end result of this effect of layering it on top of each other. So for those who didn't know, this year is 2025. Kanayama is celebrating its 40th year. So we did this loading around February 1, 2025. And this technique of layering it on top of each other, as I've said earlier, is not unique in Japan. But here in Kanayama, they've been doing this for a very long time. And the company is known for its yakishime. So for those who didn't know yakishime is like a ceramic ware that doesn't use glaze. And Kanayama, for 40 years, is known for yakishime. So if you read this book, the Kiln Book by Fred Olsen, 4th edition, you will see the Kanayama here on page 106. Okay? So according to this book, Kanayama technique is called commercial Byzantine kiln. Commercial Byzantine style kiln. But this Byzantine kiln, my sensei is trying to stop using this term for the Kanayama, because using Byzantine style name in Kanayama is not 100% true, because the Bizen style, if you study about the Bizen style, it's very different to Kanayama style. So what I'm trying to say here, for 40 years ago, my sensei, which is Ryoji Matsumiya, what he did is he traveled around Japan, studied about ceramics or Asian technique in pottery. He even traveled other parts of the world, like Laos, Cambodia, China, according to him, Korea. I think he visited many places around the world and studied their ceramic technique. So what my sensei did is he combined all those ideas. Get good parts on this area and good parts on this area, and combined it all together to create Kanayama Yaki style. So now, when visitors come here in Kanayama, I am corrected to tell them that this is Kanayama style. Okay? So this is a very important discussion later on. So if I have a chance to have an interview with my sensei, this is better coming from him. But this is based only from our discussion. Okay. So yeah, there are some tours happening here in Kanayama also. And because I can speak English, I am the one explaining the Kanayama style to the visitors that speaks English. So that's what they told me. So instead of using Bizen style, firing style based on the book, I have to change it into Kanayama Yaki style. Okay? So now let's go back to the video. As you can see, I'm inside the kiln. So this time I was assigned to load the 5th chamber, which is the last part of the 5-chamber kiln. And the reason I want to show you the loading system inside the kiln is because loading the chambers is a case-to-case basis. It means it differs each and every time. There are many factors to consider here. Like for example, the shelves that they gave me to use for this kiln is small. It is small than the original size meant for this chamber. There are some reasons why they provide small shelves for me. One of the reasons here is that the 3-chamber climbing kiln is currently on its cool down during February 1. And some of the shelves, bigger shelves, are inside that kiln. So for those who didn't know, Kanayama is trying to do firing or loading and firing and unloading 4 times a month. Okay, this is very interesting because again, we have to produce 2,000 to 3,000 pieces of work per chamber. So if the company is planning to fire and produce ceramics every single week, because they told me they want to do firing every single 4 times a month, so every single week, producing ceramics is very challenging. So for me, in my case, I am an apprentice here, so I am tasked to do the loading, the unloading, the firing, and producing ceramic wares. And other than that, I am also required to make sculptural works. And for those, I would like to discuss about my apprenticeship program in different video. But this year, 2025, is my last year here in Kanayama. So on March, it marks the completion of my 3 years apprenticeship program here in Kanayama. So I think it's a good way of documenting this. Also, as a reminder for me, what I've learned while I stay here in Kanayama. Doesn't mean that I know everything. It's just that I am trying to discuss what I learned so far. And my plan is to bring this to my country, which is the Philippines. So I plan to bring what I learned back to my country and to share to other Filipinos, and maybe to improve the pottery style in my country. Yeah. So here I'm trying to load the fifth chamber, and as I said earlier, the shelves that they gave me is really small. And there are some factors that I have to consider here. So me and my current partner during this time, I told him that if we place the shelves this way, it will not be aligned to the hole, to the sumi hole that I will show later on. So I think it would be better to place it this way, to this way. So now he agrees on me that he thinks also, he agrees with my suggestion. And I'm starting to do it all over again in this video and place it this orientation. Instead of the landscape orientation, I place it into a portrait or orientation. And because of that, the foot, the bricks that we use as a foot, I have to use another bricks or replace the bricks to create an alternative foot for this orientation. Okay? There's a reason why I have to change this orientation, and I think it's better to wait for the video and I will discuss more. So this is the base part of the kiln, and I have to secure this part because this would be the foundation of the loading, because I am going to stack the work on top of each other, and you will see later on this video. You see those small broken stones that I use? They call it kakera. So kakera is basically a broken shelves used as a, in Tagalog they call it kansa, or as a, you know, to make it aligned and balanced. So I use that as a, I don't know the name. For those who knows the name in English, please comment. Yeah, so I'm using a tool to make sure that it is perfectly balanced, perfectly stable and aligned. So let's wait. Even though I tried to fast forward or to speed up the video, honestly, this process took us 8 hours. And sometimes, it depends, again, loading the kilns are case-to-case basis. Sometimes we have to extend time. Like, sometimes not only just 8 hours. Sometimes the company work ends at 5. Sometimes we have to extend until 6 p.m. And here in Japan, if you're not done with your work, there's no overtime pay. Yeah. So I see I am putting racks below, making sure that everything's aligned and stable. Yeah. And my partner's job is to double check my work, the one outside. Other than bringing the ceramics to me as I place it on top of the shelf, his work is to double check what I'm doing. Mm.